Hi guys, in this video I want to share with you a technique called earthing or grounding. Now really I should be doing this whole video outside barefoot standing on the ground, because that way if I was standing barefoot on the ground, on the dirt or on the grass, I would be grounding my body to the frequencies of the earth. So let me kind of explain, give you an analogy first to help you kind of understand how this earthing or grounding works. And also I'm going to help explain some of the health benefits that earthing or grounding has for us. So let me give you an analogy with cable television. Now a lot of times I know I know that it's digital or wireless, or we have all these other different technologies now. But think back to the time when we had cable television, and you'd have somebody come in, set up your TV. Your TV's sitting in the house. They'd run a wire from that TV, and the wire would go outside of the house, and the wire would go down into the ground where it's stuck into the ground. That's called grounding that cable wire, that television wire. And the reason why that's so important is because that way it takes any static electricity or frequencies that get built up on that wire, it takes it and it grounds that into the earth. That way you have a clear picture on your TV. Because if that gentleman, that man or woman that set up the cable television, if they did it improperly, where the wire outside of the house, if that was sitting above ground where it wasn't stuck all the way in the ground, so if it was above ground, if it was not grounded properly, then what would happen is on that cable wire going to your TV, you would have static electricity built up on that wire. And that static charge comes from electromagnetic frequencies from our lights, from our computers, from our refrigerators, from all the different appliances that we have inside the house. They all put off electromagnetic frequencies, and that puts a kind of a static charge onto that cable wire. That way you'll have a staticky picture on your TV. But what's neat about this is the very instant that you go back outside, you stick that wire into the ground to ground it out properly. The instant that happens, all of that static gets discharged off of the wire into the earth, and then the TV is clear again. So that analogy, think of the TV as your health. Think of the TV as your health, and we need to be grounded to the earth because we have cell phones, we have computers, we have laptops, we have iPads, we have all of this technology around us constantly. Most people are on computers 8 hours a day, so we're constantly bombarding our body with electromagnetic frequencies that causes a staticky buildup in our body, and it interferes with our hormones, it interferes with our cycles, causes more inflammation in our body. Many people are very reactive to these frequencies. So if we can learn to discharge those, to ground those out of our body by practicing earthing on a regular basis, then your body's going to be at ease, it's going to be much healthier. So here's a couple of things I wanted to explain to you. And I'll tell you this, I'm going to give you this reference. If you go to earthing.com, that's EARTHING.com, earthing.com. They have tons of research, they have a book that's a really great book that explains a lot of this to you. But they have a lot of great research on their site. Plus they have a lot of products that you can use inside your house, like a sheet that goes on your bed, or a pad I have underneath my feet right now that I use when I'm doing my meditation time. I'll actually sit grounding myself because I put my feet directly on this pad that is grounding into the grounding wire, into the grounding outlet going into the ground for our house. So that website has a lot of great information. But one thing I want to explain to you is your body, with all the hormones, everything going through your body, we have certain rhythms and cycles that your body needs to go on. And I'm going to give you an example with cortisol. Most people know of cortisol as a stress hormone. Cortisol raises your blood sugar, and if you have too much cortisol long term, it can cause a lot of severe problems. It can cause problems with your nervous system tissue, your brain tissue. It can cause problems with gaining weight in the central part of your body, around your belly and your waist. But there's a lot of different things that cortisol can do detrimental if you have high cortisol levels long term. But one thing I want you to know is cortisol is actually supposed to, a natural cycle for it, is it's supposed to raise, it's supposed to be higher in the morning time, around 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning. It's supposed to be higher, and then it's supposed to drop down, and then it's supposed to level out through the rest of the day. So the reason why we want to get higher in the morning time, cortisol to raise, is because, again, cortisol raises your blood sugar. So if your cortisol raises in the morning, your blood sugar raises in the morning, that's going to give you more energy to get out of bed. So it's actually healthy and good for us to have that higher level of cortisol first thing in the morning, and then for it to drop back down to a normal level for the rest of the day. So many people have issues getting out of bed. They don't have the energy to get out of bed, and sometimes it's because their hormone, their cortisol, is just totally off cycle. Sometimes it maybe raises higher at the end of the day instead of the beginning of the day. So we need to get back to where our body and our rhythms are synced up properly. Now, a lot of things will control that. The sunlight controls that. So many people that have nighttime shifts can actually start to have trouble with their hormone cycles because they're on a totally different schedule with what is a natural schedule. We're supposed to be awake during the day. Yes, there's times where we could take a nap or rest. And we're supposed to be calming down and slowing down at nighttime and sleeping. So if we get onto these normal cycles and normal rhythms with the sun, then our body will function a lot better. Our hormones will function a lot better. So having a regular bedtime is very important. Having a regular time that you wake up every single day is very important. But also, if you're able to ground yourself, go stand barefoot, get in a lake, get in the ocean, stand barefoot or touch the earth in some form or fashion. If you can do that on a regular basis, your body will sync up to the rhythms of the earth. The rhythms of the earth they're perfect. They're perfect rhythms. They're rhythms that we can set our clock to, the rhythms that we can plan our calendars to. They're perfect rhythms. And so if we can get our bodies synced up with the rhythms of the earth, you can help sync up all of your hormones to get them on the right rhythm, the right cycles. Another example is at the end of the day, melatonin, as the sun goes down, melatonin is supposed to go up. Melatonin helps us relax, helps us go to sleep. But many people, again, we're so disconnected from these frequencies that our hormones are all over the place. There's many other things that can cause your hormones to go haywire, but like eating horrible food, bad food for your body, that can throw your hormones off. Having high levels of stress all the time, that can throw your hormones off. So there's many things that can do it, but this is one thing that can start to sync your body back up to the normal cycles. Another thing I want to share with you, one last thing, is inflammation. We've all heard of free radicals. Free radicals are little molecules in your body that can cause damage to other cells and other tissues. It's called free radical damage. They can cause damage to other cells and tissues. What a free radical needs is it is missing an electron. It needs an electron. On this surface of the earth, there's free electrons all across the surface of the earth, and that's due to lightning strikes. There's lightning striking every single minute. There's lightning striking somewhere in the world, and that's putting a negative charge to the surface of the earth. The surface of the earth is not a neutral charge. It actually has a negative charge, and that's all those free electrons. So think of this. If we have a lot of free radicals in our body that are causing free radical damage to all of our cells and tissues, that can cause inflammation. And inflammation is at the root of a lot of pain issues, pain syndromes. Inflammation is also at the root of a lot of chronic degenerative diseases. So by grounding ourselves, by earthing, by connecting to the earth, those electrons that are on the surface of the earth will actually come up into our body and will satisfy our free radicals. So there's a lot of really neat, if you go to theearthing.com, there's a lot of really neat pictures where they look at inflammation decreasing just by connecting to those electrons on the surface of the earth. So whether you're doing it indoors by using these different technologies or by using a copper wire to a grounding rod that's outside in the ground, holding onto that copper wire, or whether you're in the lake or whether you're standing barefoot in your grass, it's really important for us to get connected to our mother, reconnect to the Mother Earth, reconnect to the frequencies of our Mother Earth, and reconnect to those negative electrons and get those EMFs, those electromagnetic frequencies, all that static buildup, static charge in our body, get those out of our body so that way your body can function at a balance, function at ease, and that way it'll help you thrive not only survive, but help you thrive. So I encourage you to look into this even more, to read the book on earthing, to understand this more. But if you think about all of our ancestors, for thousands and thousands of years, they've been connected either barefoot or through moccasins, which is a natural material, which you can still have that earthing properties the grounding properties through the leather. Nowadays we have artificial floors, artificial surfaces, and rubber-soled shoes that keep us totally insulated from the surface of the earth. So it makes sense when you're thinking historically through all of these different tribes worldwide, all of the animals worldwide, this is something that our body has to have. We're deficient in this connection with nature. We're deficient in nature, and we're toxic with too much electromagnetic frequencies. So enjoy this. Use it for the rest of your life. I hope you love it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to help. But I hope you have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video.